Hey, welcome everybody. This is a special AMA with Ritam Gupta from the DeFi11 project. Really grateful for him to be online. Thank you for being with us today, Ritam. I think you're muted.
Common problem.
No worries. How are you today?
I am good. How are you?
Yeah, really good. I think just for anyone that's logging in now or will see this as a follow-up to watch later, I think today what we're going to do is we're going to spend a little bit of time getting to know Ritam, a little bit more about the project. What we would really like to do is get to know you a little bit better, Ritam. You know, there's lots of projects out there doing lots of different things. But very, very few times do we really get to know the people behind the project. So it'd be really nice to get a little bit more about, to understand a little bit more about yourself and your team, what your motivating factors were, so we can go through that, and then we can finish off with some questions that we've got from the community, and then we'll just maybe do a sort of final off a little bit more, some fun stuff around, you know, kind of where you see the market right now, and you know, what's the kind of like the interesting things you think in terms of the evolution of where we're at right now. So if that's cool with you, let's begin. I think, have you got anybody else from your team planning on coming on the call today, or is it just yourself?
I guess we should be good to start.
All right, perfect. So yeah, let's start by like give the audience a little bit background about yourself, maybe how the team got together, maybe a bit of a rundown of the team and kind of like your background.
Sure. So I'll start off giving a quick 2-minute introduction about myself, and then I'll move it more towards the team and how we came into picture.
Sounds good.
I personally, so the space is not really very new for me. I've been in blockchain space since the last 7 years now. Having started my career as a blockchain developer, I moved into consultation and then eventually landed into business. And throughout the entire journey, I've been working with different technical giants. To like some of the names to be mentioned, I worked with Deloitte's EMEA blockchain lab in Dublin. I used to work as a lead consultant for them. Used to work with various different government authorities throughout the EMEA region. Naming a few would be General Statistics Authority of Saudi Arabia, Steel Authority of Arabia, and DNVGL and other organizations as well. That's how my day-to-day work used to be. Apart from that, I worked with a lot of other projects too. Bharti Airtel Group was one of my initial companies as well, wherein I was hired as the first guy in blockchain and did set up the entire capability over there. So coming from a background all revolving around crypto and blockchain, this is quite an old space for me, and that's how I ended up into business. Like there have been various changes in the field, blockchain being very dynamic, and market is like not really something that you can predict. As you yourself mentioned, today is a good day to be talking about it. So yes, every day comes on to us as a new learning, as a new beginning. That's how we take each day. And similar was the case when last year pandemic did hit us. Everyone was under the lockdown, and that's how I got this idea of starting with DeFi11. So DeFi11 came into existence wherein I was just sitting at home. I was playing games all day long, to be honest, because I didn't have any other work to do apart from the work that I was doing, like delivering everything. I I had a lot of time, and I guess everyone had that. Even you might have been playing different games too. And I played all different games on my mobile, and I was like, I exhausted everything. Then I said that why let's explore some more games, and I tried fantasy sports and everything, and that's when I realized that gaming is one such market that's really boosted by COVID itself. And the second thing that I found being into trend at that time was DeFi after the DeFi summit. So that's when the idea came in to merge two things together that are into trend and create something useful for the people as well. So combining gaming ecosystem with DeFi, that's how DeFi11 came into existence. So in the most precise way, if I need to define what DeFi11 is, so it's a DeFi-powered gaming ecosystem, and the ecosystem contains of various different games, fantasy sports. Then we have NFT virtual hybrid world. Then we have social betting. We have P2P predictions and other modules coming in, and obviously leveraging the advantages of all the DeFi concepts like staking, swapping, liquidity pools, and all the other stuff as well. So that's how DeFi11 came into existence, and a good team, like one thing led to another. I started off as an individual thinking about the idea. I got to find different people who were resonating with the same idea, who felt that yeah, this can be the new gaming revolution in the crypto space or in the blockchain space. They resonated with my idea, they resonated with my thinking, and that's how we got to form a good team right now. I guess my colleague Tushant is also on the AMA with us today.
Yeah, we've had a new entrant. That's fine. Maybe Tushant can say hello for a second.
Yeah,
hi Tushant. How are you?
Yeah, hi David.
Better late than never, they say. Yeah, we're good. So we've just had a quick intro. Tushant, Ritam kind of gave us a background about the fact he was playing a lot of games back in the DeFi summer. When we were all in lockdown trying to find things productive to do. And that's really interesting, you know, like very few times do we really get a chance to talk to, you know, the project CEOs or, you know, founders of projects to really get an understanding of kind of what their motivating factors was. And I think it's fair to say that COVID has had a pretty major impact in a lot of people's lives, not only on the health side, but also, you know, it gave us time maybe to reflect and pause and think about things that maybe we wouldn't have had the chance to do otherwise. I think people in crypto, we're in our little echo chamber bubbles anyway, but I think even so, it gave us a unique opportunity, I think, to maybe really channel that that energy into something we felt passionate about, and it feels like that's how DeFi11 kind of was born, a passion of playing games and finding some value from that, and then really spinning that into what we now see as DeFi, this new kind of revolution, paradigm shift that we've had from the old crypto or blockchain and ecosystem. And DeFi seems to have really taken us to a completely new level when it comes to adoption and interaction to the outside world into that. So that like kind of leads me into my next question for you guys. Feel free to answer that however you feel best between the two of you, or maybe you both might want to add a comment. But so how do you really see DeFi changing the landscape of cryptocurrency? How do you think that has played into the new landscape that we currently see ourselves in? And how do you think that's benefited yourselves with DeFi11 in terms of really, you know, maybe new adoption? Because we're starting to, like I feel for the first time ever, there seems to be a clear runway into moving from, you know, this very kind of small, very eccentric kind of cryptocurrency ecosystem toward like the traditional space where, you know, people talk about fintech, and it feels like we're starting to mesh those two worlds together for the first time. And it seems like your project has a perfect fit that could, you know, channel both of those worlds. So maybe, yeah, Ritam, maybe you can start by kind of giving us your personal view on that and how you think that's benefited your project. And maybe Tushant, you could add to something at the end too.
All right. I'll say that before talking about the project, a generic view over this would be that DeFi really changed the perspective how people or how retail users looked at blockchain. So having said that, I've been into blockchain space since the last 7 years, and we already have you as a veteran as well. So I myself has personally seen a lot of different shifts in the blockchain industry. People used to go forward using public blockchain. Then came a time when enterprise blockchain adoption came into picture, wherein people were adopting enterprise blockchains. And then we also had the ICO era, And even at that time, retail users didn't really jump into the picture. They were like retail users coming in, but the adoption that we have now is compared to nothing. So we have been coming from a time wherein the adoption seemed to be a way or seemed to be a concern for everyone. The only thing people used to talk about in different conferences, in different panel discussions, this used to be one of the topics that how to increase blockchain adoption or how to increase crypto adoption. But now when we compare the scenarios that we are in right now and at that time, things have literally changed so much. Now we don't really need to talk about adoption much. People have already been coming into picture, into crypto, into they've started to be more aware. The retail users, I'm talking about the retail users itself. Enterprises and everyone were aware of this, but then the retail users, when they jump into something, that's when we call the adoption has actually come. And after DeFi hit the world, after DeFi revolution came in, I guess that's the only reason retail users started investing in. Even if they knew nothing about it, they started investing in like a lot of coins, a lot of new tokens coming into the market, and they started to realize the potential of it, to understand how it works. And to the best of my understanding, I'll say that DeFi really has been one of the proving factors of all the advantages of blockchain, and it really made us to believe that yeah, adoption of blockchain is right at the corner. It can come any day now. All the like almost all the governments are jumping into it. More and more states every day, more and more countries, geographies are kind of adopting blockchain now. So that's how I'll say DeFi helped the ecosystem. Wherein coming to DeFi11 project, I would say that we are also, I'll say we are also sailing the same boat, the DeFi's boat, sitting on the boat and making sure that the product gets adopted by a lot of masses, by a huge number of people. That's when we say that we don't really want to depend upon the crypto community. We also want to go forward to the non-crypto or to the non-blockchain users. The adoption that started off with DeFi, we want to take it forward with DeFi11, because gaming ecosystem is in itself very huge. Even if I don't talk about crypto gaming, the normal gaming ecosystem or the normal gaming markets are literally huge, $1 trillion industry, to be honest. And when we bring both these together, the adoption seems unbelievable. So
Yeah. No,
that,
that's good. So just a couple of points on that. Like, I think once upon a time, there was this dichotomy in the space where people were building with the hope of one day finding some kind of niche or hook to the traditional space. And then there was other companies that were kind of in the traditional space trying to find a niche within crypto. So it feels to me like we've kind of like maybe found that middle ground where actually you're somebody within the crypto space that has experience, knowledge, but you're actually coming at this almost from a traditional angle where you're saying, look, actually we found a niche, which is, hey, there's a space that is already booming, right? It's a space that has so much connection and alignment with crypto, which is like gaming, like NFTs and stuff like that. And now we're at that point where actually you can be successful in crypto by focusing on like a kind of like the connection outside. So, you know, that seems like we're in a pretty unique sort of situation right now. Would you kind of agree with that? That seems like your sentiment, right?
100% agreed on this.
Yeah, cool. No, it's exciting time. So Tishan, I don't know if you wanted to add anything there, otherwise we'll move on to the next question.
Yes, David, yes, Ritam. As you both said, I wanted to just add on, like you both said, that both the universes of crypto universe and gaming universe would bring together and form DeFi11 as a revolutionizing universe, if you see that. So on seeing that, if you may note a point, what gamers are looking for, they are looking for a hassle-free experience to play games. So using DeFi11, we are giving them that experience. If as a user you visit a gaming platform, you have to register every time and you have to provide your details and then they have to get verified and everything. So it's a lot of a hectic time-taking process. So
Yeah.
you have to do it every time you come to a platform. with DeFi11 and bringing users to our ecosystem, you don't have to like wait for playing your games or enjoying your tasks. You have to just create your account, and with it, you can just start playing and earning and also doing many things via DeFi11 platform. So
Sounds
just
good.
wanted to
Yeah.
add that point.
No, that's great. So like, maybe we can get into a little bit more detail about, the type of games you enjoy doing yourself, what type of games are available on the platform right now. Like if I was a user, how do I engage with DeFi11? Is it fully operational? Where are you at in your roadmap? Kind of give us a bit more detail around that.
I'll take that answer.
Okay.
So right now, I'll say there are 4 different modules. Broadly talking about the modules, so I'll divide it into 4 different parts. First one is the fantasy sports. Second one is the NFT hybrid world. Then third comes P2P predictions, and then we have social betting. So I'll majorly divide it into 4 modules. The first one, fantasy sports, is what we are working on. We already had our alpha application out in the market while we were still in the fundraising process. We were still into our fundraising process. Everyone you might have noticed this trend that the fundraising in crypto has become a trend right now. That's more easy and that's beneficial for the founders as well. But one thing that I did really feel founders were missing, that they were talking only about the idea when they were raising funds. They didn't really have any product or something to be displayed or to be demoing, right? But we thought we might need to change this a bit. So we literally launched our alpha application right middle of our fundraisers, so that we have something to present, so that the investors get to believe that they are not selling air, they are actually selling something. And being very honest, and I'm very proud in saying that we really received a like insane response from the users. We didn't really do any of the marketing, there were no strategic marketing plans, there were no structured marketing plans, but then we just launched the link, we just released the link onto the website. We got more than 1600 odd downloads within the first 10 minutes of releasing the link. We got over 5000 downloads within the first 36 hours, and even till date we have got over 10,000. Like as when we got the 10,000 or 12,000 odd downloads of the application, we had to shut down forcefully so that no more users come in, because this was just the alpha application. We were only expecting like 1500 or 2000 total downloads coming onto that, but the response that we got from the community was literally insane. And out of our surprise, all these downloads, people were not just downloading them, they were actually playing the games. So with IPL round at the corner, we leverage IPL as well. IPL is the biggest cricket league in India, Indian Premier League. That's when every day people used to have 1 or 2 contests being created on the application, and they were literally playing that actively. Every day we used to see over 2.5, I'll say, thousand, or over 3,000 transactions to every contest. That's what was being observed by the team. Out of all the 12,000 odd downloads, more than 10,000, more than 9,000 people were actually playing, and they were actually active on the system. So we really feel proud to be saying that the community support that we got were literally huge, and people really like the project. People really like the alpha application. That's when they were playing the game, even when they knew that there was no option of withdrawing the payments. They were winning the rewards. They didn't have any option to withdraw the payments, withdraw the rewards, but they were still playing. That's what really gave us a boost, and we really worked our asses off, to be honest, just putting this word. We have been really working hard, working 22 hours a day. The entire team, not only the business, BD or strategy team, the entire tech team is also putting in all their efforts. And hence we are running ahead in our roadmap. We were scheduled to be launching our beta application, the full-fledged application, probably in Q3, but now we are launching that in mid of June. That's what the target is. So running ahead in time is what I guess would be something good for the community as well, who gave us so much. So once our beta application comes in, everyone should be able to see a new revolution coming all together in the gaming industry, and obviously the adoption that we are talking about for the crypto.
That's amazing. Thank you for that. And that sounds pretty exciting. I think anyone that I guess ideates a dream, a vision towards something that they want to achieve, and then see it come to fruition, and finding that perfect storm, it kind of feels like the universe created that opportunity, and you were ready for that, and you took that on board. I like to see things in a spiritual way myself, so it feels like this was all part of the rich tapestry of life for you there, Ritam, and you just kind of like you've kind of just smashed through that and achieved something you probably really wanted to do and probably didn't even expect at this level. So congratulations for that. For anybody that's signing in that doesn't know, and I would imagine there'd be a fairly high level of Indian people on this. Obviously, you know what the IPL is, but anyone that don't, it's a big cricket league. It's probably the biggest tournament in the world when it comes to cricket. And I guess India is like the home of cricket in some ways. Even though being an Englishman, we would argue that we created cricket as a game. I think it's kind of been taken on to the next level by the Indians themselves. And it's their #1 sport by some way, I believe. So I think you fit that. I think that was like the perfect storm, it seems, because there was a period where pretty much every other sport was shut down last year, and like the IPL went full steam ahead. And I think there was a lot of foreign players playing on that. And I didn't even remember my son spent a lot of time watching the IPL. So that brings me back to memories of last year. So great. Well, thanks for that. I guess, like you said, that is unique. You know, very rarely is there a project that A, can afford, and also B, be in a situation where they can deliver a project, albeit in some form of, you know, alpha or beta state, and then get people to engage. And I think that probably really just kind of like cements the point that we raised at the beginning, where we're now seeing this kind of hybrid approach where actually you can get just as many people to engage if you have the right project and the right focus within crypto, and it has that kind of hybrid approach. So congratulations to you. I guess you've got a good team there already. Anybody that hasn't had a chance to review that, then maybe we'll share at the end of this like some information around DeFi11, their pitch deck and other socials, so people can put some due diligence into finding out more about your project. Sounds like they can already start to engage, so that's great. I mean, that's even better than just kind of like trying to find out what the roadmap looks like and with nothing substantial. I guess as people can start playing around with games and interacting already, you've got 3 or 4 things moving, and you've got a big roadmap moving forward. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about outside of the core team, like who your early backers are, some people that have maybe really supported you up to this point, maybe some of the people that you're planning on working with in the future, and how you seen that being supportive and supporting you in your vision for the future.
Sure. So I would say, yeah, it's really very important. Just a very generic thing. It's really very important for any project to be getting a good support initially, even when you know the project has capabilities. But then that first push is required. That's where a lot of projects literally stop performing, or maybe they really lose hope when the first step doesn't really come in handy. You can get into the market, get a lot of investors backing you up, but then obviously you need the first one to be jumping in. And for us, the first step came in, or the first support came in through TDFi itself. We were incubated by 3DFi. We got like huge support from everyone around, be it marketing, be it strategy planning, be it how to lay down the entire ecosystem for the investors to be coming in, and any of the things that we wanted. We did really get a good support. That was our kick, to be honest. We really took forward from there, never really looked back. And right now, even if you go to the website, you see who's onto the cap table. I don't think there are any names that we didn't really touch. We almost all the big names in the market that are there in the crypto space right now, investing in the projects, they have already invested in ours. There's a huge list of people onto the cap table itself, getting to be like they were waiting to be, they were wanting to be just invest in the project, and we were literally in a stage where we had to turn down their offers. To be honest, it was a very good headache for me personally. I didn't really think that the sale would be going in too heavy or too good to be true. Like a lot of other projects, the our seed and private sale did really go oversubscribed. We had to return back the funds to the users, to the investors. We had to cut short on the allocation, and it was a headache. But then you really like this type of headache to be coming onto you, and then deciding whom to be putting onto the cap table and whom to be saying that let's meet probably sometime after this. So that's how we were also. Just one moment. Sorry.
I think someone's coming in to try and invest Ritam. Sorry, carry on.
Luckily, it was one of our investors though.
No, that's great.
We did really get a huge response. Naming few of the people, I'll say few of the funds: AU21, A195, X21, and Magnus Capital, Fomograph. Like, there's a huge list. Anyone can simply go onto our website DeFi11.com and get to see the entire cap table. And we were literally overwhelmed by such a response from the investors as well. We did really close our seed and private round. We were raising in close to 3.5 million combining both, and we got like 4x oversubscribed. We had to return back the funds, and that's
Good
where
news.
we closed it. And it was just in the matter of, I guess, 2 to 3 weeks that we closed the entire 3.5 million fundraise that we had to do.
No, that's great. I think that's really good to know that you've got good people behind you, backing you, supporting you. There's a few names in there that I recognize. That's good stuff. I think that's for anybody that's, I guess, listening in, a testament to being able to derive value by providing value. You know, so you guys, I think you hit it out of the park in terms of being able to get something up and running, bringing in that value straight away from people that actually use the utility. I think that's the big thing, right? We've always talked about utility, and I think you're proving that model. So, I mean, congratulations to you guys. So we spent a little bit of time getting to know you, which I think is maybe unique from maybe some other AMAs, you know, without getting into too details around the tech. I'll let other people do that. And I also a big fan of not spending too much time, so people have their attention span kind of wandering. What I'd like to do is maybe just finish off the next few minutes, just doing some sort of fun type of questions, and just kind of so give people a sense of maybe a little bit more about your personality and your views about the general market. Maybe you can give me kind of your views of the market where we are right now. Obviously, we're going through some pretty interesting corrections right now. What's your state? What's your view, personal view on where the market is? And do you think this is healthy? What's your short-term, mid-term thought process?
I'll say it was a much wanted correction that everyone is observing right now. The numbers were really fluffed up and pumped up by a lot of different things going around in the market. Go to memes, go to whatsoever. There have been different incidents coming along in the last few days that resulted in this. But I would say my personal opinion is that this is a healthy correction that the market wanted. And we cannot really declare that this is the end of bull season. Not really. This is still just a normal correction that we have observed. The bull season is still to be going on for the next, my personal opinion would be for the next 5 months or 6 months, you still be able to have a good bull season going on before we go to the bear one and try saving our assets. But a good sort of business to be, I'll say, yeah, a lot of business to be done before that, until the time we don't really observe the bearish season. But it's a healthy correction that we have observed today.
So buy the dip. Is that what we're saying, Ritam? No financial advice, right? But buy the dip. Okay, nice. So, what's your the first cryptocurrency? Like, you've been in the space for like 7 years. So, what was the very first cryptocurrency you bought? I assume it was Bitcoin, but outside of Bitcoin, if it wasn't Bitcoin, what was the first altcoin that you purchased and why?
Yeah, you guessed it right. It was Bitcoin. But then outside Bitcoin, the first currency that I purchased was XRP Ripple. That was what I had. obviously a lot of people had that with the performance, with the, so I don't really go with the trend or with the news coming in. I really go on study the project, and that's how I used to invest. I'm a long term I'm a long term hodler, I'll say. I just keep on holding coins, even if it touches skies and come back, I don't really sell it. That's how I usually operate.
A true enthusiast then. Love it. So with that in mind, what was the last coin you purchased and why?
It was Matic. The last coin. I
Ah,
did really purchase Matic in the morning as well. I'm a strong backer of Polygon, to be honest. The team, how they are working, how hardworking they are. I'm just like huge respect for these people. So that's where I'll say I'm a strong holder of Matic. I've been buying them and never really sold any of my tokens. So I've been just buying at different prices. I bought Matic when it was like 20 cents or something. I bought Matic then when it was 80 cents. Then I bought it at $1.50, and I even bought it at $2.50. But
wow, there we go.
it's all averaging out, and my personal opinion about them is probably within a couple of months, I think they are gonna hit the $7 mark. Too good to be true right now, with almost saying that it's gonna be like 3x in the next couple of months. But that's how I think, because the project's really getting a lot of traction. With everyone finding the need of going to layer two, I guess they are hugely capable of doing it.
No, sounds good. So are there any projects out there right now, I guess some projects that are familiar to the listener that you're actively engaging with in terms of partnerships that maybe you can talk about? Maybe give us some sort of like news that nobody else knows. Is there anything you can share with us today as like an exclusive?
Um, that's a tough thing to answer. I have a lot of partnerships lined up. I will be announcing them probably over our Twitter and Telegram. However, I cannot really disclose the names unless we go on make the official announcements. But then a lot of different gaming ecosystems, or I'll say gaming platforms, that we have tied up, wherein we'll be finding mutual synergies. Huge names are there as well, but until we make it official, I don't think it's the right platform to be saying this. Uh, no, a good news or a good point about us would be you guys following our Twitter and seeing our logo over Burj Khalifa. I guess we did really post about it few days back, and everyone was going crazy about it. That was that really real or not? We had DeFi11's logo over Burj Khalifa, and people really were impressed by that. So that's what we tweeted. That right now we have
Nice.
conquered the tallest building in the world. There are more things to be conquered, and it's just the beginning that we did.
Sounds good. So are you working out of Dubai right now?
Yes, I'm into it.
Oh, that's great news. What's the weather like right now? I hear Dubai is like the place to be for crypto.
Yeah, I guess you should also be coming over here. It's the crypto hub now, and the weather's
Yeah.
weather's pretty hot, just like the market a day before.
Oh, it's still hot. It's just hot on the way down, but that's fine. It's I think I agree. There's a need for a healthy correction in a pretty volatile market. So I think when there's fear in the streets, that's usually a good sign that there's a time to maybe dip back in. But I guess I'm a little bit like yourself too. I've been in the space for a long time, and there's still coins, in my wallet somewhere that I forget about, and they remind me every now and again. So I've been a big fan of Matic myself. I think I first purchased Matic under a cent, and back in and out and back in and out. So yeah, it's kind of like sometimes you kind of wish I just never sold anything. I just held everything because we'd be fine. That's cool. So couple last questions because I just want to wrap it up. I don't want to spend too much time. It's been great getting to know you. It sounds really exciting what you're doing, what you've already done. Looks like you're going to be one of the real big project wins, I think, of 2021. So congratulations on that. So a couple of last sort of questions that are a bit more fun. No financial advice to anybody listening in, by the way, but Ritam, could you give us like maybe a guesstimation on what you think the top of the market might look like in terms of a Bitcoin price? Do you want to try a guess here and see we can look back in the future maybe and see if you got close to it? What's your thoughts?
I guess someone asked me this earlier as well in the second, in February or something, wherein I guess that it's gonna touch 100,000 by the end of this year. That's what my prediction was. I'll
Has
still
it changed?
not really.
No. So you think 100K still? Okay.
Till
And
it's very likely.
And do you ever see Ethereum swapping places in terms of the largest market cap over Bitcoin?
There's a huge possibility, but I still back Bitcoin. I guess that's gonna be the highest market cap.
Oh, you think that'll stay that way for some time? Okay, cool. And what's an interesting fact that maybe nobody knows about you? Maybe we can end on that. Anything funny or interesting that maybe most people won't know?
I mean, people usually know me I as a workaholic. That's what.
Okay.
Even I get to spend a very, like, right now the days are literally very busy. I don't really spend much time with the team as well. They have been complaining that I'm very hard to catch with the amount of work that I'm doing currently. I'm just like writing notes, I'm making notes, I'm trying to do everything at this point in time, not really making time to sleep, not to exercise. That's how busy I am. But honestly speaking, I guess one thing that people don't really notice or cannot really judge in the very first time is I'm a very nature loving or a spiritual guy myself. I don't I don't look like one, to be honest, with the look that I have. But I'm a very simple guy. I don't really enjoy. I really enjoy small things. I don't really want to go big. The the only idea is to go step by step, enjoying every moment, not to worry about the future, not to worry about the past, just enjoying the present and doing your best what you can right now. So that's how my ideology works. And yeah, usually people feel as if this guy is thinking about the future and then working. I don't really do that. I just like take the moment that's right in front of me and I work for that. And the story automatically gets created. That's how you create a story, one step at a time.
That's really interesting, and I think for any other budding entrepreneurs that are running projects or thinking about setting up a company, I think that's actually a really mature thing for them maybe to consider themselves. Um, let's focus on the day and making every day as productive as possible, because I think we as human beings can sometimes get a little bit too distracted with worrying about the future, and forgetting about the enjoyment of every day. So I think that's great advice for anybody that's listening in, and it's really good to hear that that's the way you kind of live your life, Ritam. I think that's a very positive thing to end on. So I guess just before we close up, is there anything you want to share with the community as a final word before we close?
Yeah, I would say a quick update about the project, or maybe two, three quick updates. First of all, as we announced our closure of our seed and private round, a 3.5 million amount that we raised in the seed and private, we are nearing the public sale for the token as well. That's the 11 token public sale. We will be announcing the launch pads that will be going forward doing the IDO and the listing platforms as well. But it should be somewhere in the second week of June. That's where we are assuming things to be coming in. And then there will also be a pre-IDO staking through one of the launch pads as well, or I'll say one of the platforms as well. We'll soon be announcing that. But yeah, so various different things coming all together, and June is going to be a very, very busy month for all of us, with the launch of token coming in, the launch of our beta application coming in, pre-IDO staking and post-IDO staking, both, like everything coming in the month of June. That's where I guess it's a really crucial and important or exciting month for us.
Sounds great. Thank you for that. Thanks for your time, Ritam and Tushant. Just to close out, we appreciate your time. Sounds exciting, and it sounds like the excitement is just starting. So it looks like June's going to be a big month. Looking forward to hearing more about your story and getting updates as we progress, learning more about the DeFi11 journey. Good luck with everything, and we'll catch you again on a follow-up AMA, no doubt. Take care, everybody. Appreciate you for joining in today, and we'll catch you again soon.
Thank you, David. Really nice.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Ritam.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, guys.